Welcome to the Can You Beat series where my name is Bambi. This is take number 10 or whatever. I don't know. I hate doing these voiceovers because I never know what to say. So we're going to try to beat Madden 21 on the key moments feature where I only play the key moments in a game. I decided to go with the Cincinnati Bengals because the Cincinnati Bengals haven't won a playoff game since January 6th of 1991, where they destroyed the Tennessee Titans. Now, they did play in the Super Bowl a long time ago. I think it was Super Bowl 16. Well, I decided that I was going to make an appearance in Super Bowl 55. I ended up getting Zach Ertz as well as Adam Vinatieri, who was always fucking money. I got a pick off here off of Justin Herbert, and this was one of the few times I got some interceptions, which is very typical of the Green Bay Packers, which is my normal team that I like to play. Interceptions as well as a lot of fumbles were pretty interesting. There's a bunch of mold in the office here. If you take a look at the picture there, you can see in the left corner and behind the TV, or it's really horrible shading. So the Bengals need a season to win. I actually destroyed Baker Mayfield's record for rookie quarterback touchdowns with Burrow, and I decided that I needed a good backup. So I went with Ryan freaking Fitzpatrick, Fitz Magic. And then I ended up playing the Eagles, I think, as the third or fourth time in there. And this is where I realized if you truck stick somebody at just the right moment, you can get them to fumble. This did come down later to play because I think I was able to get Lamar Jackson to fumble 4 or 5 times. When I faced him, I think I had 7 or 8 plays where I faced him, and I was able to get a couple of sacks on him. I realized a little late in the season that there was a way to defeat Lamar Jackson, and I'll explain that in a second. So the Philadelphia Eagles left a little too much time in the clock, just like who was it earlier in the season that let Rodgers have like 45 seconds in the clock and he still destroyed them. And then of all the people to help score the winning touchdown in overtime, Zach Ertz comes by, handles it handily, and lets the Eagles know what's what. So this is the one and only time that I let Lamar Jackson get the better of me, although I kind of get back at him here. So I pulled for the run. Now, I think Lamar Jackson, I think it's about 80% of the time he keeps it and goes for a run. Well, that's why it's 28-28, and Adam Vinatieri is doing what Adam Vinatieri does and putting it up for the win. I like I said, once I realized that I'm no longer going to just let, if he's gonna hand it off, let him hand it off. So I ended up smoke checking a couple of times and getting Lamar Jackson to not do what Lamar Jackson does. I was really pissed off there because, as you could see, everybody was covered, but for some reason it was a perfect pass. I somehow canceled a dive there, and then I ended up doing a celebration dive here, which was weird, but I still actually ended up beating the Bengals because I thought I had done a boo-boo. I did lose a couple of games. I think I lost one actual game, and then I had simulated the other 5 losses. I did going from 5th to 6th back to 5th, and this is where I realized that if I run a certain kind of blitz, I can do that. And I felt kind of bad because I feel bad for Phillip Rivers. He's an old man. This was technically his last year, even though this was a previous year. Mac ended up catching up to me, and then I basically hit Ertz for a nice quick little touchdown. And then the next series where I was up 17-10, guess what I did again? I exploited the blitz, picked it up this time, but this time I was able to just get gone. I don't think anybody got close to me, and I was able to score. So I realized that I have now a perfect blitz that I can run when I need to run a blitz, as well as I know how to prevent somebody from doing something. And that's why I was able to beat the Baltimore Ravens here. I thought it was funny because it was like, oh, they're letting me take a kickoff. Nope, the Ravens are doing an onside kick. And then guess who comes in to save the day? None other than Zach Ertz. So Zach Ertz comes in, gets the go ahead, and I beat the Baltimore Ravens 38-20. Lamar Jackson didn't stand a chance. Now, if this looks kind of familiar, this is why. I thought the 2020 playoff system was going to be really great. I thought what ended up happening was a pretty cool display for the Buccaneers to do what the Buccaneers did, but this was the playoff system here. I ended up playing the Buffalo Bills, and I remembered I have to play Josh Allen. Josh Allen, in my eyes, is an amazing quarterback. I really wish that they would have won the Super Bowl in 2020, but I ended up getting a pick 6 off of him, and I pretty much handled the Bills in a pretty decent fashion. There was a moment in time where I had a little bit of stress, and then I ended up pulling off a fake punt. Ended up coming up here with, I think this Hubert or whatever, Huber, and I had a guy who was wide open. I think it's ridiculous how the change of direction takes so much time, but I was able to get the first down, and I handled the Bills 28-20. Got some extra points, called it a day. Now, I always thought it was interesting because the Green Bay Packers, I remember one year they made it to the NFC Championship, where they had to play none other than the San Francisco 49ers, and the Packers had never been challenged. Well, apparently the Packers are really, really good, and they handled the 49ers pretty well, just like I handled them in the Super Bowl. So can you beat Madden 21 on the key moments only with a fairly subpar team like the Bengals? The answer is actually yes. AJ Green somehow stayed up for that. I think I had one passing touchdown. Devontae Adams and Rodgers did what Devontae Adams and Rodgers normally do, although it didn't really matter because they only hit a few key moments in there. This is just the kind of nail in the coffin where I had a rushing touchdown for Burrow, and Burrow became the MVP, and I ended up beating the Packers 35-14. The Super Bowl 16 went 26-21 against the 49ers. I thought that would be kind of cool to beat the 49ers for Super Bowl 55 and kind of reverse it, but usually things not to be. I always hate playing Madden 21 as a different team other than the Packers because I usually end up having to face the Green Bay Packers in a Super Bowl, and I always hate it because I'm a huge Packer fan. But yeah, so the Can You Beat series, I know I'm taking some left and right turns here randomly. I'm just wearing myself out on Fallout 4. I apologize. I know a lot of people like Fallout 4, but I'm trying to keep it varied up so that way I don't get burned out. I want to thank you guys for sticking with me. I hope you guys continue to enjoy the episodes. I'm trying to get a sponsor on a podcast, so that should be interesting. But here you go. I actually changed the name of my owner to Jack Frosty Hart. I have $284 million, so I'm going to go ahead and renovate the Bengals stadium because it looks like garbage. And we're going to try something a little bit different for the next Can You Beat series. So stick around, stay tuned, and I love your faces. And I'll see you guys on the next Can You Beat series.